shocking. Can you believe this? Trump's "I didn't do it" mantra can actually hurt him. From day one of the hush money trial, Trump has denied all charges against him. Even at his conviction, he refused to admit that he had done it. But now that the legal experts are saying that Trump's defense strategy can in fact backfire and lead to his incarceration, let's take a look at what these experts are saying.
Trump himself has raised the specter of violence should he lose this next election. The events of January 6th, the violence on the steps of Congress, the chaos in the halls of Congress, President Trump's initial reluctance to call his supporters off. All of that has congealed into an alternate reality. No longer a travesty to be condemned, it is an act of heroism to be celebrated.
So we've followed Trump's case for a long time, and it's been approved beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump is indeed guilty. It took the jury only 2 days to convict him on all 34 charges. But on the other hand, we faced a sort of a wall. We've seen denial and stubbornness from Trump's side. Trump has denied all charges. He repeatedly defended himself and said that there was nothing illegal about paying the money. He has said horrible things about Stormy Daniels. He's accused Judge Merchan of being a cat's paw. He has said openly that Biden is behind the trial. We don't really know if Trump really believes he's innocent or if it is some kind of strategy that his lawyers have cooked up. But we doubt that any good lawyer would come up with that kind of a strategy. It's more likely that Trump indeed believes himself to be innocent, or at least doesn't feel the need to admit his crimes to the public.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man.
But legal experts think that this kind of stubbornness is indeed hurting Trump. It's making him look bad, and it's making the judge angry. Because the evidence is against Trump, Trump is putting up a tough front because he wants to project himself as a strong leader or someone who can keep his nerves under pressure. It's a move to get a following. It's a move not to let his voters wander away. It's a very calculated and cunning move. He's just trying to tap into his loyal voters. These are people who would believe just about anything that Trump would say.
At some rallies, men identified as the convicted rioters singing the national anthem are invoked as victims, even heroes.
Nobody cares about the working class. You don't care about us. You want your ratings on CBS, and you want to lift up that idiot in the White House.
Okay, you've already made up your mind about me. And
no, I'm not saying you. I'm sorry if you thought that.
That's all right.
I'm saying the media, you have been lying to the American people long enough.
This rally took place weeks before any verdict in Trump's New York trial had been reached. But the faithful weren't going to be swayed by any verdict delivered by a New York jury.
He's not guilty. If anybody's guilty, it's Biden.
There's also a theory that Trump might believe that his crime can't be proved, that he is depending on the loopholes in the law, that somehow he'll be able to slip through and get away with it. Because we've seen all around the world, in many cases, the rich and the powerful get away with the crime. They manage to get a reduced sentence, or they manage out-of-court settlement. So maybe Trump is counting on something like that. Or maybe he thinks as an ex-president immune to incarceration. There's already a lot of friction between Judge Merchan and Trump. Trump violated Merchan's gag order, and Trump has already accused Merchan of being corrupt. Trump's attitude of confrontation isn't helping his case. Trump has to reappear in front of the court on July 11. With Trump being already the target of Merchan's ire, things aren't looking good for him.
Some of the witnesses that were on our side, they were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft. People say, oh, he seems like such a nice man. No, unless you saw him in action.
Even Senator Ted Cruz has attacked Judge Merchan.
Bad news is this has been a kangaroo court from the beginning. This is a wildly partisan prosecutor who hates Donald Trump, who came with a political objective of going after Donald Trump. And we now know from these jury instructions that this judge is every bit the partisan that the prosecutor is. And he knows this is reversible error. As you noted, Ramos versus Louisiana clearly held in 2020 that every element of the crime must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, must be unanimous by the jury. And yet this judge says it doesn't matter.
But not everyone agrees with Trump and his supporters' perspective. Legal experts think that Trump's strategy is indeed hurting him. Jeffrey Cohen, a former federal prosecutor in Massachusetts, said, "The judge can see that everybody knows what he has done. He is simply refusing to admit it, which will make things worse, and the judge can use that to sentence him." Jeremy Salant, a former assistant district attorney, said, "If Trump keeps blaming the judge, the court, and the prosecutors, it won't end well for him." He added, "Trump can pretend all he wants, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a convict now." Trump will get a chance to address the judge on July 11. If he does that, and considering what he already has been saying, it will further make the situation difficult for him and might lead to incarceration. However, it seems that lawyers won't let him do something like that, but Trump might see it as an opportunity to take a dig at Judge Merchan and score popularity points. On the other hand, we know that when criminals apologize and admit their crimes, they get leniency or reduced sentences. Even Clinton apologized and the nation forgave him. We suggest it's about time that Mr. Trump considers changing his strategies.